Well, hello everyone. It is Jessica. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. Thank you for stopping in and clicking on the video. Wow, today I am quite content with the makeup look. We tried a ton of new makeup products. Most of them are drugstore. I think I have like 2 or 3 high-end ones we're trying as well that I got during the Sephora VIB sale. In the end, I am like quite excited about some of these products. And you know what? Some of them are newer to the drugstore and I have not heard like anyone talk about. So some hidden gems, hidden new gems. Can they be hidden if they're new? I don't Don't overthink it, Jess. So we're gonna try all these on today. You're gonna get to see how they work. So today's video is actually sponsored by Rakuten. I have been working with them for years. This is an online tool and site I've been using for years, but you may have heard it called Ebates. So Ebates did recently change its name to Rakuten. It's the same site, the same retailers, and the same account if you already have one. So the only thing that changed was the name. But what Rakuten is the largest cashback site. So when you're shopping online, they have thousands of retailers that they partner with so that you can get a % cashback on any online purchase you make with those sites. The way that I use it is I download the Rakuten browser button. It's just the easiest way to use it so that I don't forget to use it. So when I'm shopping online at some of my favorite stores like Sephora, Ulta, Macy's, Kohl's, and thousands of others, a little pop-up will appear to ask if I want to activate whatever % cashback that site is that day. I'll click to activate it and that's all I have to do. I'll check out like normal on that site and I'll see that % cashback in my Rakuten account. They pay out 4 times a year with paper check or PayPal. You guys, that's it. It is that easy. It is free. There are no strings attached. And as I always say, if you are someone that already shops online a decent amount and you're not using Rakuten, you're just leaving free money on the table. I know so many of you guys have shared how much you've made via Rakuten in the course of a year, and it's crazy. So if you're interested in checking out Rakuten, you can click the first link in my description box to get a $10 welcome bonus in your account when you make your first $25 purchase. Rakuten is also co-sponsoring a $100 giveaway with me. So after you've created your account with the first link in my description box, all you have to do is click the second link in my description box to enter the giveaway. Good luck. Rakuten, thank you so much for sponsoring this video and continuing to support my channel over the years. I so appreciate it. Other than that, let's get into the try-on haul. So as I mentioned, I have a lot of goodies to try. The first thing we're gonna try is the Revlon Rose Glow. It's their hydrating and illuminating primer. I think it's like $13.99 on Ulta's site. I saw it. Again, Revlon is always on sale at drugstores. You could use coupons. So I try not to ever pay full price for drugstore stuff, but it says to place a few drops into your hands, rub it together to melt the oil beads. Oh yeah, I didn't even notice those little beads in there until just now. Apply to face for illuminated skin. You can wear it alone or under any cream, liquid, or powder foundation. Okay. I like the color. It kind of reminds me, and I'm starting to wonder if it is a dupe for the Wander Beauty like glow ahead face oil that I actually really, really like. So the dropper was kind of hard to get out there, but it does have this like kind of shimmeriness to it. So rub them between my hands. I don't really know. I feel like my hands just soaked it all up. Does it have a smell? It's like a very light smell. It's not overpowering. Let me do it on my fingers. Maybe they'll feel like my palms soaked way too much of it up. It's really hard to get this dropper to work, man. You can definitely see it feels a little bit tacky right now as it's drying, but you can definitely see a little bit of illumination. There is a noticeable shimmer in it, but it's a very, very finely milled shimmer. I definitely typically prefer when primers kind of have the illumination built in without a shimmer required. Do you know what I mean? Okay, this dropper is awful. It's funny, in the product description, it said with the premium like dropper bottle, and I'm like, this dropper is not working. So I just had a few of the beads that I guess I didn't rub enough. I wish this were in different packaging, but I am liking the effect on my skin. So we're gonna continue to give it a go. I really am liking the effect and my skin feels moisturized. It said it should feel moisturized for 24 hours. Feels tacky, which I don't mind a tacky feeling in my like primers, especially if it is hydrating, and it does. I mean, doesn't my skin look nice and hydrated? Okay, Revlon. I don't have enough for a full face, so I'm just throwing on other products I have to fill in the gaps. This is the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous. This is the one that used to be in the blue one, right? It was this Outlast Stay Fabulous? I saw it in this black one and I wanted to try it again. I've had this one for a while now, but I wanted to give it some more love. So just blending that on top and we'll see if my skin still looks kind of glowy. The CoverGirl one is kind of a middle of the road one for me where it's got kind of medium coverage and it's not super matte, but it's not super dewy. It's definitely more matte than dewy, but I feel like it's kind of got satin leaning matte. So I thought it might be a good one to throw on top of that primer to see how it works. And I'm just using this $1.50 Paw Paw sponge from Shop Miss A. That is my absolute favorite. I don't think this CoverGirl stuff is my favorite drugstore foundation either, because I feel like it leaves my skin with something to be desired. Like, it doesn't really do much for me. You can definitely still see a little bit of that glow in my skin. Y'all see that? So I like the primer for that, because this is a foundation, the few times I've used it, that, like I said, definitely leans more matte. And so anything I can do to help it look a little more, like, give a little bit of life to my skin, I'm all for. I feel like because my coffee is half gone and cold, it's affecting my mood. So I'm gonna go make some fresh coffee. BRB. Never know I was gone. All right, this next product, while I wait for, now I need my coffee to cool a little bit, is this Revlon Color Stay Brow Creator. I am just curious about this because it has a pencil, but then it also has a powder. And there was this, I think they might still make it, but, and was it Maybelline? I think it was Maybelline made, or maybe still makes, this product where it's kind of the same thing, where it's got a pencil and a powder, and I loved it. I want to give it a try, so I'm gonna brush through, what shade do I have? Is dark brown. Always hard to match yourself, you know? Brows at least are a little bit easier than foundation, I think, but still it can be difficult. I think I'm gonna start by doing the pencil and kind of outline where I want stuff, and then lightly go in with this powder, because I have a feeling the powder might be a little darker than what I want to go. But I like that it's all in one and it has a spoolie, because that was the thing that with that old product I actually really did like. It didn't have a spoolie as well, and I freaking love spoolies, man. Gosh, I don't even feel like I need the powder right now, but I don't like myself with like crazy dark brows anymore. All right, so we're gonna try this powder. This could go really far south really fast. So it looks like the powder is suspended in there, so this little sponge dips in there and consistently every time you shut it gets more powder on it. But what I loved about this product is that it was really, this type of product anyway, is that it was fast. Yeah, like really fast. See, that gets so dark so fast. So one thing to be aware of, if you're not needing a lot, this might be too much for you. If you do need a decent amount of color added, this would be a great, yeah, that's like super dark, Jess. Baby, baby, baby. That song has been stuck in my head. I don't even know that entire song. It's that, wasn't it like the first song Justin Bieber like ever came out with? Anyway, so brows are darker than I've been going lately, but that's okay. I look like Uncle Fester again, you guys. I thought I'd grown out of my Uncle Fester days. I think it's a good product. Do I think it's what I need right now? I think it's a little darker than what my brows need, but I think it's really good. I mean, that worked really well. I really think if you've never tried one of those powder things, you might really like it if you need to add a lot of color, or not coverage, but a lot of color to your brows. It is so good, and it's surprisingly good. I remember the first time I ever tried a product like that, I was like, and if you're new to my channel, the reason I'm saying now I don't need it, my brows grew in. I used a brow serum and they grew in way darker, whereas before, like a year ago, they were really light and I had to like completely color them in. And this is my natural hair color. They were just naturally, I guess, lighter and more sparse. So that's why I've changed my tune, but for a while it was what I needed and it was great. Too hot. I need to put concealer on so I stop looking like Uncle Fester. I haven't used this full coverage of a concealer in a hot minute. This is not new to me. I just grabbed it, the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear. Oh my. I haven't seen myself with this dark of brows and this light of concealer in forever, and I feel like I look insane. There's a reason I've moved away from it. I think on me, it's not as flattering as I think I thought it was. And I mean, there's a lot going on up there. We are in too deep now though, folks. There's no turning back. There's no turning back now. One of the only high-end products we're gonna be trying today is this new Hourglass Veil Eye Primer. I still stand by the fact that you don't need to spend the money on an expensive eye primer. But I wanted to see if it's still good, because I know some people just like certain brands or use a bougie baby and it's in your budget and you wanna spend that. But I really, regardless of whether it's in your budget or not, I just don't think you need to spend the money. But I will say, this is the second time I've used this. I do think this does a good job. So like I said, maybe you have a gift card and eye primer is really important to you because you feel like not all of them work on you, or it's something that you never skip. It might be worth it because it is nice, but I just don't think you have to. The $5.99 or whatever Milani primer I think is great. I don't use eye primer every day because it's not a huge problem I have, but I know it is a problem for other people. If you're wanting to save some money, I did do a dupes video literally like 2 seconds ago. Like, it was a very recent video on my channel. And so I will link that up in the eye and down below. I found some of my best drugstore dupes of all time. I take dupes pretty seriously here on my channel. So when I do them, I try to do them right. And I am so proud of all of the ones I found. Definitely check that out. Holy moly. I found dupes for like the Makeup Forever powder foundation everyone's talking about, and the Charlotte Tilbury powder that I love. I found a product that's better. In fact, a lot of the dupes I found were actually better than the high-end ones, and those are gonna be the ones I repurchase the drugstore version of and not the high-end one in the future. Okay. So I think it's nice. It's just real expensive for an eye primer. So that's really all I have to say about it. It does the job well. 2 products that are not new at all, but I bought on a whim. I'm trying to dupe my favorite Charlotte Tilbury like Pillow Talk quad that I love. It's kind of got some light shimmers in it that are really easy to work with. And I also wanted to dupe the Charlotte Tilbury Darling palette that I also love that is even more expensive. I found a couple of options here. This first one might be the one I'm the most excited about. It's this Maybelline Single in the shade Dusty Rose. And truth be told, for me, it's not really necessarily that I'm duping the exact shade for shade. It's more that I'm duping the vibe, like what I typically am going for, which is kind of like this light peachy shimmery color just all over. And oh my gosh, first of all, I haven't bought a Maybelline Single in years. I am excited to give this a try. So what I typically do with a product like this is I just get it on a fluffy brush and I start by applying it to my lid. This is like my everyday quick look that looks so nice and put together. Oh my gosh, it looks so similar. And then I move it up to the crease, and then whatever's left, I'll kind of throw in the brow bone. And even though it's kind of a peachy shade, it ends up looking so nice all the way from the bottom to the top. And I feel like with natural shadows, like literal shadows from light, it makes it look like you're wearing more than one shadow when really you're not. And I have been looking for some kind of like drugstore option for it because I hate recommending something that's so ridiculously expensive. I don't want to have to repurchase if I don't have to because I want to save the money too, honey. This is a good find. So this shade, man, go run out and get it before it sells out. As if I'm selling anything out. Jessica, that was awfully presumptuous of you. Shade Dusty Rose, man. This is gorgeous. So I still want to mess with this quad, so I also picked up the Maybelline Quad in Sunlight Bronze. I have been talking lately about how I just don't reach for my big palettes much anymore. I'm much more apt to reach for just a small little quad or duo, trio, whatever. And this one has such pretty shades. It kind of reminded me of fall, but a little more toned down, because sometimes with fall, they'll have like really punchy like burgundies and browns, and I'm like, I don't really go for those shades. I just want the ease of application, man. That's all I'm here for. So I'm gonna take this base and actually tap it on the center of my lid. I feel I do that most days, this kind of effect, kind of like a sloppy halo, and it just makes my eyes look, again, more dimensional, a little more shimmery without really, I mean, that took me 20 seconds, not even like 5 seconds. And then I figure I'll go in with a little bit smaller of a brush and we'll try this like crease shade and just kind of tap it into the crease a little bit. There's still pigment to it, but it's because all of these have that shimmery finish. I love it. I think this is gonna be the era of people really going back to smaller little useful quads where you're using most of the colors in it. You know, in big old palettes, there's certainly a lot of colors that are being wasted by me. I can tell you that with certainty. Oh yeah, the perfect temperature. Okay, this liner I bought a while ago and I have been dying to try it, but I was like, I wanna save it for a video. It's also from Maybelline. This is the Hyper Easy Eyeliner Liquid Pen. It's a brush tip, not a felt tip. I'm typically all about that felt tip life, but I'm open to brush tips. When I saw that Makeup Revolution, I don't know that they're discontinuing it, but they're definitely not selling it at Ulta anymore. My Renaissance Flick eyeliner that I love, that's like $9. I was like, well, I need a new drugstore option because I don't like spending the money on high-end liquid liners because, again, you have to replace it often. Packaging-wise, very cute. I love that it's like a hexagonal cylinder. Prism. No, I know that some of you guys are like, Jessica, you're wrong. But the idea is that it's supposed to be a really fine tip, right? So we're just gonna go in with this. I'm a little nervy-dervy, but we are gonna roll with the nerves. The brush feels very comfortable to hold, like kind of ergonomic. Looks pretty darn black. Okay, I can talk again. So it's definitely super black. The brush tip is super flexible, which if you're used to, is great. I typically like felt tips, I'm realizing, because they're slightly flexible, but there's not as much give to it, so I feel like I have more control. I think brush tips take a little more practice, so I'm not great at this. It's looking fine though, and it is super black. And here's the thing, a lot of times I layer eyeliners, like I'll put a gel cream liner on first, then a liquid one, because I feel like if I go in just with the liquid, it's never like, it doesn't cover the shimmers of my eyeshadow well enough or whatever. And this one is doing a great job on its own, and not every liner can do that. I think I still would prefer a felt tip, but that's personal preference. Let me know if you have a favorite felt tip liner from the drugstore, because after this one runs out, I would definitely be interested to try. Like, let me throw on mascara. I don't have one to use today, just still using my L'Oreal Bambi Eye. I know y'all are tired of hearing about it, but it's the mascara I'm using. Proud of myself for not having like 5 mascaras open at a time and really just using up the one that I have open. Mid-mascara coffee break. You know what's so funny? I was re-watching vlogs. Actually, they're the vlogs my husband's been putting up all week from our road trip a year ago. If you've never seen any of these vlogs, first of all, my husband did them, and he's a travel agent, so he knows a lot about travel, but he's a good video editor too. They feel like videos you'd see on the Travel Channel, but it was like a year ago, and I have lost so much weight since then, so like watching it now, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I look so different. But the reason I'm bringing it up here is I did my makeup slightly different then, and I would always have something dark on my lower lash line, whether it was shadow or liner or whatever. I really am liking the way my eyes look without that stuff on the bottom. And it is a total, again, a personal preference thing. But as I've looked at that, you know, day after day in those vlogs and looked at my makeup, I'm like, I just feel like it didn't complement my eyes the way I thought it did. You know what I mean? And my eyes, like because of my eye shape, whatever, just tend to look better without that. And so I'm kind of glad I've recently discovered that. I feel like I look different because of it. And I think I look better, but that's, again, my own personal preference. All right, the next thing we're gonna try, this is one I just bought recently, the Physicians Formula Natural Defense Multicolor Stick. So it sounds like this is supposed to be kind of a cream blush. You can also use it on your lips. It's got SPF in it, which is kind of cool. I think the packaging is beautiful. They have a whole new line. I didn't buy anything else but this from the line. I don't know why, because it was on my wish list in some like past anti-haul wish list video. The shade I have, by the way, is Soft Pink. And I've kind of played with it on my hand, and it blends really easily and quickly on your skin. So I think I'm just gonna go straight in and then just use this little like microfiber, no, what is this, stipple brush, not microfiber, duo fiber brush to kind of blend it. Okay, that is pretty. Let's try it on the other side. It's such a pretty shade if you're near my skin tone. It's like a pale pink. This is I don't want to say a dry formula, because like I said, it blends really easily, but I have a feeling this is going to stay decently well throughout the day, because it is like almost a cream to powder in that once it's blended in, it's not tacky anymore. You know what I mean? Whereas some cream blushes, that ones that I love, can kind of stay a little bit more moisturizing. They kind of have that dewy look, but maybe they don't last as long throughout the day. I think that looks really nice. I like that like overly blush look. Yay! Okay, and here's the thing. I always am leery about blush sticks like this because sometimes they can be really hard to blend. Like my Nude Sticks blush that I have that's in this similar format, I really like, but it's not as easy to blend as this. So I'm already pumped about that. I think that looks really flattering and nice on the skin. So bronzer can't come soon enough. I'm feeling a little washed out. This is from Ciate, and it is their Bamboo Bronzer in South Beach. The packaging is gorgeous. I've had this for quite a while, just like on standby. If you saw, it was like from a while ago, my like PR makeup declutter or backup drawer, whatever it was, I talked about, I really like this and I wanted to try it, but it's been this long and I still haven't. So I'm like, okay, Jessica, you're either trying it today or you're passing it on. So we're gonna try it today. I think it's gonna be a little bit deep. There's like glitter in it, but I have a feeling that might be an overspray. Let me just kind of go to town. No, maybe not. So I'm gonna be really careful. I'm tapping a bunch off and we're just gonna kind of lightly start. This is still 28 bucks though. I feel like unless this shade is perfect for you, and this would be true for any expensive bronzer, unless it is a perfect shade and you just can't find one, I'm really enjoying the Milani silky matte bronzers. I talked about that in my dupes video. I think it's one of the best drugstore options for bronzer, and they have a couple of shade options. So that one I really like. It's super creamy, easy to blend, very pigmented though. I still have to be careful with it, but I don't think I'm gonna be like dying to like use this all the time. Okay, yeah, the glitter is not an overspray. It's definitely still in the pan there. And actually the glitter is showing up a little bit on the skin. So I don't know, y'all. I did see that there was like another shade that was lighter, but it doesn't look like it's sold on Ulta's site. Is the packaging not so cute? Like, I don't know. I'll keep giving it some love, keep trying it out. If you're new to my channel, I do speed reviews. So like a month or two after trying a bunch of new products like this, I will mention them all, share whether I think they're awesome, whether or not. That way I can kind of give you a more finalized review on these, because obviously for most of these, this is the first time I'm using them. I don't have a highlighter right now, so I just grabbed my light sticks from ColourPop in the shade Earth, and we're just gonna kind of tap that in my little area. I like to highlight the cheekbone, the area like everyone likes to highlight. All right, last thing we're gonna try is this lip product I bought during the Sephora VIB sale. And I have heard so many people love this. I know that Emily Noel raves about these. Madison Miller specifically mentioned this color. So this is the Bobbi Brown Crushed Oil Infused Gloss in the shade New Romantic. So just swatching it, it is totally up my alley. Kind of a, not sheer, there's color, but like there's a sheerness to it. It seems moisturizing. I don't think it's got a super noticeable smell, but it is comfy, y'all. And it feels nice. I think it looks nice. Again, it's more of a sheer color. So for me, this complements my lip color because I do have slightly more pigmented lips. So, oh, I'm digging it. Again, this is like one of those things that it's a purse lippy. Like you can leave it in your purse one day when we can leave our house again. So quickly to kind of run through the things I'm probably the most excited about as of right now, this single Maybelline Shadow in Dusty Rose. This is something I could see myself traveling with a ton. It's exactly the same kind of look I get with my Charlotte Tilbury ones that I love. Same goes for the quad. I just know that like this is the color I'm always like leaning towards. So you guys know I'm excited about this lippy. I am way more excited about this blush than I thought I would be. I was worried, like I mentioned, that it would not blend easily, but it blended so fast, so seamlessly. Oh my gosh. So that was an exciting find. I just wish this Revlon freaking packaging was different. You know what I mean? I just wish it were easier to get the product out. I don't know if that would mean having a pump, or I don't know that it would work in a squeezy tube, maybe. The liner is really good. So the only ones I know I probably won't get a lot of use of. This brow product, well, but it does look good in the end, doesn't it? So I don't know. The brow product I do think is a good product. This was just a lot of good ones, right? The Hourglass Primer, like I said, good product, just I think overpriced. You know, you don't have to spend that kind of money. So let me show you what this looks like in natural light. Okay, so everything really did come together really nicely. That liner is super black. I think this is what I mean by the shadow. It almost looks like I didn't try very much, because I didn't, but it just is so flattering. I love it. And actually those brows look pretty nice in real life too. Maybe I will give that brow a little more light. I'll have to keep playing with that. The blush I think looks so pretty. Even the bronzer I think looks nice. I feel like there's so many good finds in this video. And it's been a while since I've done a video like this, so it's like really invigorating and I'm just excited by it. So I will let you know how all of this makeup wore down in the description box if you're curious, kind of give you a quick update on how it looked at the end of the day. I would do my normal like check-in, but my working time is like this big this week, so I have to edit this video today. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. I love doing these. I want to get back to doing these videos a couple of times a month because there are so many new launches. And like I've mentioned to you guys, I don't want my videos to get stale where you feel like I'm only using the same products, but I also don't want to be at the level I used to be where I was trying like 75 products in a month and it was way, way overpowering. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot here on YouTube. And of course, if you enjoy this and you enjoy makeup and drugstore dupes and skincare videos, and I also do some lifestyle videos. I do some cooking ones, grocery hauls. I'd love to have you subscribe. It is free. And of course, it helps you find my videos more easily if you want to binge any of them. Come say hi to me on social media. It is at It's Jessica Braun everywhere. And thank you again, Rakuten, for sponsoring this video. If you do want to check out Rakuten, it is completely free, cash back when you're shopping online. All you have to do to sign up is click the first link in the description box and then the second link if you want to enter the $100 giveaway with Rakuten. And other than that, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.